Who does this guy think he is? President Trump, do not talk to this guy. Prime Minister Mark Carney. Mark Carney said, we've called out those comments. They're disrespectful. They're not helpful. They need to stop. They will have to stop before we sit down and have a conversation about our broader partnership with the United States. End quote. Not helpful. Disrespectful. Really? Who does this guy think he is? Mr. Passive Aggressive is calling President Trump disrespectful by suggesting that maybe we pool our resources and become all one big country. Why don't you sit down and explore this idea? Maybe we can reduce some duplication here. Maybe we don't need Ottawa anymore. What do we need a border for if it's the largest undefended border in the world? Let's really talk about disrespect. We have a border. It's about 8,900 kilometers long, and we're asking them to protect themselves from us because we're a sovereign country that can't protect ourselves, but we get them to protect us at their expense. That doesn't make sense. If you don't think this opinion should be ignored, please hit the like key, watch the whole video, subscribe, and YouTube will show this to others. It might be disrespectful as the former Prime Minister's advisor not to have advised the former Prime Minister to spend 2% of our GDP on the military, so he could have avoided these so-called disrespectful comments. What else is disrespectful? Well, he went on a trip. As soon as he was sworn in as Prime Minister, he went to Europe. Didn't call an election. Didn't call a by-election so he could sit in Parliament. Oh, wait, Parliament's closed indefinitely by the last Prime Minister. That's disrespectful. All those parliamentarians still getting paid while the rest of us Canadians are struggling to put food on the table, fill our tanks of gas. Oh, but wait, carbon tax Carney here, the banker, wants to get rid of the entire oil industry. That's highly disrespectful. You want to shut down my oil industry here in Alberta, my oil industry. You want to shut it down. You want to keep my oil in the ground so I can't sell it to anybody. He thinks that he can trade something with France. That's where he went on his foreign junket on Canadian taxpayers' expenses. What does he think we're going to trade with France? We already turned down Germany for LNG, liquefied natural gas. We could have shipped them a bunch of liquefied natural gas, but the last Prime Minister, Trudeau, said there was no business case for it. He also said there was no business case for selling LNG or natural gas to Japan. Well, guess who just signed a deal with Japan? President Trump. You don't even want to talk to our First Lady here in Alberta, Danielle Smith, about how we might be able to export some oil to France, who's buying oil from the Middle East right now. And you call his comments disrespectful, not helpful. Not helpful for whom? Not helpful for your buddies at the World Economic Forum who want us all to eat bugs, to own nothing and be happy? I'm happy right now paying carbon tax. The carbon tax you suggested to the last Prime Minister that I should be paying. And now you want to cut it. Wow, just to win an election? This is total nonsense. I know exactly what you want to do, Mr. Carney, Mr. Banker. I know exactly what you do, and a lot of Canadians out here in Alberta knows exactly what you want to do. You want to isolate the United States, our biggest friend and ally. You want to totally indebt them so that they owe the rest of the world so much money that they have to start scrapping their own military. And so that you can move in, make a one world government. Let's talk to the US president like an adult instead of saying, I'm not going to talk to you if you keep talking about the 51st state business. Well, that's kind of passive aggressive, isn't it? Well, I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm going to go talk to President Macron in France instead. He's a great ally over there. What has he done for Canada lately? What has King Charles III done for anything for us here in Alberta, Canada? Nothing. Quite a few of us here, a lot of the Indigenous people, think they're just a bunch of colonizers anyway. So what are you doing dividing us here when you should be uniting us? You talk about uniting us, but you don't want to unite us with the United States, our greatest ally? Come on, get serious. They're allies with the UK, they're allies with France. That's why those guys didn't want to talk to you. too long there. You have no trade deals from those guys. We're trying to make trade deals with the UK. You didn't come home with a trade deal. You didn't come home with a trade deal from either France or from Great Britain. These guys do not have great free speech laws. You know, they arrest people for making videos like this. And actually, in fact, I'm done with Canada anyway. It's Alberta, USA. I've made videos about it. You can look at them. Look at the links below. Now, I try to keep these videos really short and to the point and get this fresh perspective to you, because we're not getting fresh perspectives here in Canada. We're getting omissions. We're getting the same old trope from the same old liberal press that we've always had in this country. If you don't think this opinion should be ignored, please hit the like key, watch the whole video, subscribe, and YouTube will show this to others. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.